Hello and welcome back to The Lion's Den. I'm your host Matt as always, and it is week 31, episode 31. Are you ready? Let's hope that I've ironed out some of the inconsistencies in last week's recording, because things were different and I had to try and figure out some ways of modifying how I record in a better way, hopefully. So we'll see. And I've decided to take a slight hybrid approach with the whole scripted thing, so we'll see how this one goes. Right. So, on last Saturday, I got my second dose of the wonderful COVID-19 vaccination, and it was interesting. I want to be completely transparent, and I'm not trying to scare anyone. We're all different, we all react differently, and depending on what vaccine you get in the first place, you'll have a different reaction. But here's what happened for me specifically. So I had the Pfizer variant, the fun one. I believe that's the mRNA or mRNA version, so the funky new fresh technology as opposed to the standard way we'd been doing things. And on the day it was fine, to be honest. Went and had the vaccine. I got there early actually, and they managed to get me through anyway because it was quiet. Flew around, and basically the most of my time there was the 15-minute waiting period to make sure I didn't fall over and die. So, yeah, interesting. I had a sore arm, obviously, because you've been stabbed. Of course you're gonna have a sore arm, but otherwise I was okay. It was the night where everything kind of went downhill, so I couldn't sleep. My body was just kind of in overload mode. I was both hot and cold at the same time. I was freezing and also sweating. It was awful, honestly. I think I got up twice in the night. At one point, I got up, went and had some water from the bathroom, and then brought my bin close to my bed in case I was going to throw up, because that's how I felt. And I think eventually I woke up at around 5:45 in the morning. So I was just like, I want to die, help. I got up, went downstairs, said hi to the cat, had some cereal and some paracetamol and some water, and managed to pluck up the courage to go back upstairs to bed and sleep until about 7. To which I then said, right, I'm awake and I'm not going back to sleep. And I then spent all of Sunday just feeling like poop, basically. I felt absolutely drained, probably from the lack of sleep. I must have gotten about 4 to 5 hours of sleep Saturday to Sunday night, which normally I get 8 or 9, so a fair bit less than I'm used to. But in reality, it was just kind of flu and cold symptoms. So how your body feels kind of weak, your muscles are achy, your brain's not really with it. So I was just kind of drinking a lot of water, taking paracetamol at the bare minimum hour intervals. I think it's like 4 or 6 hours between doses, and I was basically on the dot doing that. And then Sunday night I slept so much better, and then I was fine. It was just Sunday I was absolutely dead. Interesting side note, I really like this effervescent paracetamol we have. So essentially it's a tablet of paracetamol and some like fizz stuff. Not entirely sure what it is, but you drop it in a glass of water and it fizzes and bubbles and whatnot and dissolves. I really like the taste of it. Don't know why, I just do. So I was basically chugging that all Sunday, which is good because it means it's forcing you to drink as well as also get drugs in your system for helping with the pain. So pretty good, personally. I'm not trying to scare anyone from it. It's probably not that bad, really. And everyone, like I say, everyone's different, and each vaccination is different. Just so happened that that's what I am. Also, I'm now naming the Pfizer vaccine Fizzy. That's what I'm calling it. So I hope other people join me in that. Anyway, away from the scary stuff of the vaccinations and onto a slight pet peeve of mine, also related to health though, in the similar vein. So there's a system at the gym called Body Track. It's a little machine that you can use to measure your biometrics of your body, from stuff like your weight to your body fat percentage to even things like your BMR, which stands for basal metabolic rate. You'll have to Google that one. And I've been using it for a while. Ever since they really installed it, I've been using it because it's a good monitor of your progress. So you can kind of tell you where your body's going over each subsequent month, whether you're making the correct progress or not. and you can kind of adjust depending on what it's telling you. But to be honest, the past few times I've noticed there's been a bit of a fault with the machine. So the way it works is you log in and then it gives you a bunch of options, so you can kind of look at your previous data, you can take a reading, you can set goals, things like that. And obviously the first thing I want to do is take a reading, so I click on that and then ask you a few questions like, do you have a pacemaker, have you taken off your socks because you have to have skin contact with the machine, are you wearing sports kit, things like that. You say yes, no, whatever to all of them. And then you say, okay, right, pay, because it's like $2.50 per each individual reading, which is not that expensive in the long run, because really you don't want to be taking a measurement every day. You take them maybe once a month and get an overall look to how you're progressing. So that's fine. You pay, and then you get this like little error icon. And it looks like a web page error icon with a sad face on it. That's the best way I can describe it. But there's no text or anything telling you what's gone wrong. There's just this icon. Now the trick is you hit the home button on the top left hand corner and you go through the whole thing again. And the thing I have to tell you is once you've gone through all of the questions, it has a period where it's connecting, I believe, to the servers to do the measurement. And that's so unbelievably slow. It will sit there for maybe a minute and a half, but it feels so long. I'll have to time it once to see actually how long it is, but you have to do that twice. It's really annoying. But once you've waited through that and got to the point where you'd pay, because you'd already actually paid and it's gone through, it will then allow you to take the measurement, which is so dumb. And to be honest, I'm very lucky because I use Google Pay, which will tell me if the transaction was successful. If you'd used just a contactless card, you've got no way of knowing if the payment went through or not. So you could just be sat there thinking, oh gosh, has it screwed with my card? Is there a bug or something? What's happened? But thankfully, at least I've figured out the kind of semi-workaround, but it's stupid. I wish they would fix it, but who knows what the actual problem is. Next thing to talk about is I started watching the F-Zero anime. Yep. There's an F-Zero anime. Would you believe it? So I stumbled upon this on one of the fun YouTube rabbit holes that you end up going down inevitably. And there's this channel that has, I think, all of the episodes. There's 51 episodes because, fun fact, there's 51 laps in an F-Zero race, I assume. Don't quote me on that. But they've got all of them, and they've got them with both English and Spanish subtitles, interestingly enough. So yeah, I've just been watching that with the English subtitles because it's obviously all in Japanese because it was a Japanese anime. And yeah, it's just bizarre. The writing of it is very weird. So minor spoilers because it happens like episode 1. There's a dude from the year 2050 something gets into a car accident and is then put under ice, and he wakes up in 150 years later, and like his first thing is he freaks out because like, I'm in the future. And he basically goes, oh no, where's my girlfriend? And goes driving around looking for his girlfriend, even though people told him, like, dude, it's 150 years in the future, they're probably dead. But he still goes looking for them. Yeah, it's weird. And then he just kind of moves on, is like, this is fine. I'll just be a racer now, this is cool. Very bizarre. But you know, overall, I think it seems quite fun. It's clearly interesting enough for me to keep watching, because I'm on episode 20 odd of 51, so, you know, and they're 20 minutes long. They're not exactly short things, which is the fun part. Yeah, makes me wish I could have played the F-Zero games though, because I think there hasn't been one in like nearly 2 decades. I think the last one came out in 2004, stuck on the GameCube, or maybe even one of like the handhelds, you know, like the Game Boy Advance or something. So that's really a shame. And it's also kind of inspired me to play Captain Falcon in Smash, but that's a train wreck. I don't understand. I'm just terrible with him. I'm just so bad with Captain Falcon in Smash Bros. And it makes no sense because I can pick up generally any character and be okay, but with him, I'm just not good. Even after having watched a couple videos online about how to play him and what he does. So yeah, but maybe that's something to talk about another time. So thank you all for listening. If you do, still you are. Hopefully this episode's a bit more structured, a bit more free-flowing. We will see when I come to edit it. Yeah. Hope you all have a good week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.